Great time, Canto for life.
Canto for life.
Canto for life, man. I'm telling you, we love it. We're going to do this forever.
And introduce.
Wasn't that an amazing video? That is from the food fest that we had at the Canto annual general meeting in Suriname earlier this year. That was fabulous. It was such a unique event, and I'm afraid Telesur, the sponsor of our AGM, or where we hosted it in Suriname this year, did such an outstanding job that it's going to be hard for us to exceed what we experienced this year at the January session. But we're going to have another annual general meeting as usual in January. This time we'll be in Trinidad. We're going to have another food festival just like you saw or similar. So that's something you'll definitely want to see when you come. Welcome today. We are so delighted that you're here. I'm Melissa Harris. I'm the CEO of Telecom Training Corporation, and I'm chair of the marketing committee for Canto, which is quite my honor to do so. We've got a number of our team members here this morning. I think in the chat, we're seeing all kinds of folks type in where they're calling in from, and we're delighted for that. Now that we've seen the video, then I want to put up a poll question, I believe, is Leslie, where we want to do that now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, wonderful. And the poll question is here. Can everyone see question 1? On a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 indicates minimal adoption and 5 indicates extensive adoption, how would you rate your organization's current level of AI technology integration into your sales and marketing strategies? Please select one choice. Let's see what our group today comes up with. And we have a huge group, 48 people. That is super. We're so delighted you all are here. Oh, the numbers are going up here. $22. Few more entries here. We've got about 60% of the attendees responding. I want to tell you what's going on in chat while you're finishing doing that. Let's see. We've got a lot of good morning alls here. We've got people calling in from Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana, Port of Spain, Trinidad, Aruba, Suriname, Bogota, Colombia, Curacao, Venezuela. Wow, how exciting. I've got goosebumps. Antigua. Oh, wonderful. Assortment of people from all over the region. That is great. Let's see what we've got here. I think we've got, give you 10 more seconds if you want to go ahead and respond to the question. And yes, looks like everyone's answered. Great job, everybody. Looks like we've got the grand prize winner. The runner-up is number 3, moderate adoption. AI is used some. The second runner-up is B, slide adoption. But the grand prize winner for the day is minimal adoption, where we're just starting to explore AI. And so that's fabulous, right? That's why we're here today. And Leslie's going to do just a fabulous job setting us up for success as we move forward into the different evolutions of AI, from where we are with minimal adoption and what we can do to effectively move forward from there. So we've now talked about the chat. We've talked a little about our first poll question. And now I'd like to hand it over to our Canto Board of Directors, our marketing committee liaison, Deisha Clifford. Deisha is the group head of regulatory affairs for Digicel. She's a leader on the Canto Board of Directors. And so she is going to be introducing Leslie, our illustrious speaker today. And I'm going to go ahead and shut this poll, if that's okay. Canto teams. I'll just minimize it. Great. Okay, Deisha, hand it over to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Melissa. I know my instructions from our moderator were to introduce Leslie, which I'm delighted to do. But before I do that, I do just want to take a minute to recognize Melissa, our bold and fearless leader, our champion of our council marketing committee, for all the important work that you do. It's lovely to see you. Thank you very much for agreeing to be our moderator for what is going to be a very exciting session. Leslie, it is my pleasure and privilege to introduce Leslie this morning. Leslie is no stranger to the Cantu family. Leslie Leafook is not just a name, he is a legend in the world of business. Recognized for his groundbreaking digital transformation strategies and mastery of technology, his expertise is unparalleled, etching his name in the records of business leadership, particularly on the Caribbean shores. His career spans over 20 years of experience in analytics, robotic process automation, and artificial intelligence. Typically serving enterprise and government customers, he aspires to create a globally competitive region using data which positively impacts every Caribbean life. He was also named as an honorary speaker at CTU's Prime Minister's Summit, which amassed over 100 leaders from across the globe. Leslie believes that we will all someday become data citizens. He hopes to tap into the deeply creative nature of our Caribbean people so that we can foster development in a community. And this to me is what really resonates. Leslie's vision is to transform this region into the India for analytics. And that's pretty powerful stuff if you think about it. So join me in welcoming Leslie to the Canto Conversation stage. Leslie, thank you so much for spending time with us this morning. I'm looking forward to it.
Morning, you guys hear me okay? My internet just dropped. I'm on the road today. But super excited to be here with you guys. Let me just do a quick share. All right, let's go. All right. All right, wonderful. So good morning. I was looking at the chat, guys. Super excited to be here with you all today. Good morning, buenos dias, bonjour, guten morgen, and welcome for any of my friends here from Jamaica. Congratulations on being at this transformative telco sales and marketing webinar. Before we begin, guys, I'd love to know what departments you guys dialing in from. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're from marketing. Give me a 2 if you're in sales. If not, let me know what departments you guys are in. 1, okay, cool. We got sales. What else we got here? Hey, Flurry morning. Sales, okay. Finance, fantastic. Audit, supply chain. Okay, cool. So I'll make sure I'll do my best that everything is all relevant to you guys. Beautiful supply. All right, lots of sales people. Good. Commercial, nice. Sales, business development. Great, wonderful. So super excited to be here with you guys. How many of you guys agree that time is our most valuable resource? So the team and I will do everything within our power to make sure that the time is very well spent. And I want to acknowledge everybody for showing up here today. By the end of the session, our bold promise is if you stick in with us and you switch off all those distractions, you TikTokers, you know who you are, turn it off for the next 30 minutes. By the end of the session, what we'll be able to do is share with you how you could use AI to stay ahead of the curve in your own particular industry. So guys, if you'd love to stay ahead of the curve, give me a 1 in the chat. If you want to be a leader in your space with AI. Cool, love it, love it. So the first thing I want to mention, guys, is that this is not going to be your typical webinar. It's not going to be a lecture. It's not going to be academic. It's going to be based on real world experiences, but both on what worked and what didn't work for me, so that you could save yourself the headache and just save yourself time. So how do you make the most out of today's session? Well, only one thing. All you need to do is participate. Just use the chat when we ask questions. I'd love to hear from you guys. Want to be able to interact with you. So if that's you guys, give me a 1 if you want to go participate. Let me see the chat. Beautiful. Thanks, guys. So in the theme of participation, I want you guys to whip out your mobile phones here for a second. And anybody who has a background in marketing, I'll just ask you guys to volunteer. Go ahead, take a quick snap of this. It's a quick 4-minute thing. And I just need maybe 2 or 3 people to do it, if you don't mind. And what we'll do, we'll come back to this at the end of the session. Cool. So if you guys snapped it, just put market in the chat, MKT. So I know that I have a couple examples to come back to later on. But I want you guys, I don't want to just talk about AI today. I want you guys to experience AI, because everybody's talking about AI, but nobody's actually doing much about it. And I want you guys to experience it firsthand. So go ahead, take a picture, and then complete the survey. Is that cool? All right. And then we'll come back to it in a very little bit. Lovely. All right. So since we've been spending some time together, would it be okay, guys, if I shared a little bit about my journey, some of the challenges that I faced, and how AI ultimately helped me, so that you could learn from my mistakes and get there faster? Would that be okay? Is that cool? Let me know in the chat. All right, perfect. So after helping hundreds of companies and mentoring thousands of people to solve million-dollar problems with data, I'd love to walk you through what I discovered across all industries, especially in telco, because we work a lot in telco, but with people at all skill levels in pretty much every single department. I'm Leslie. I'm a thought leader in AI, and a lot of people refer to me as a data millionaire. I'm not greedy, but this is my number. I want to get to this number, I'll retire. So my goal today is to all help you become millionaires as well. Now, when most people think about me, this is what they see. They see me with government leaders, with presidents, with prime ministers, with CEOs, with captains of industry, and sometimes with celebrities. But it wasn't always like this. My AI sales and marketing journey, it started about 13 years ago. And for us, it was a time of adversity. My company was in decline. We had limited resources and we faced budget cuts. We struggled just to make ends meet. Projects that we would normally win, we were losing. Clients that we had for years were terminating contracts. And the scary part was we didn't know what to do about it. So I set out to understand why. I wanted to analyze my data to make better decisions, but I couldn't program, I couldn't script. I wanted the ability to look around corners to predict the future, but I couldn't even make sense of the past. And I spent weeks banging away at it. I wasn't making any progress. And eventually a light went on in my head. And I did what anyone needed to answer complicated questions does. Googled it. So I stumbled across a Gartner report and it highlighted a market leader for business intelligence. I did some more research and eventually I landed up on YouTube. That day, I saw a presentation that changed my life. I saw a guy analyzing sales data and he was double clicking and he was dragging and dropping and he was answering questions that were similar to mine, but without any code. So I downloaded a trial and I threw some of my data. Now, at the time, I had a preconception that data was difficult and there was this huge learning curve, but this tool, it was amazing. It was easy and intuitive. And I was zipping through the last 5 years of data and quickly I figured out why we're losing business. It was cloud. See, we were no longer competing with the Massey's or the Fujitsu's of the region. We were competing with Microsoft, Google, and Amazon. And just for the record, I'm not the guy in blue, but we were competing on a global level, and I didn't know it. You see, technology companies are usually first ones to be disrupted by technology. But if you walk through any shopping mall in the world today, wouldn't you agree? It becomes apparent that everyone needs to compete on a global level. Isn't this the reality for many of you guys here today? That you're not just competing with other telcos, you're now competing with Facebook, WhatsApp, Netflix. So we all need to compete globally. So I went to my business partner. I said, Jude, like what we're doing right now, in 5 years, we're going to be dead. We're not going to have a business. This cloud thing is not going to stop. But someday, everyone will need to do this data thing. And with his blessing, I pursued it. So I went online and I researched the company. I found that they had a local partner in Trinidad. So I called up the partner and I had a meeting with them, and I begged them to collaborate, right? And the CEO went away and I didn't hear back from her. So a week later, I called her and I was like, hey, I didn't hear back from you, what's happening? She said, well, I had to speak to the chairman, and in the nicest possible way, the chairman said, go screw yourself. So I was like, okay, cool. And interestingly, you know, like that is probably the best way to motivate me into action, by telling me I can't do something. And how many of you guys are like that as well? Like telling you can't do something is an absolute motivator. So I took up the challenge, and but I went out and I started to do sales in the traditional way. I knocked basically on every door, every person's door that I knew in Trinidad. And you know what? It was crickets. No one was interested. Fortunately and unfortunately, I'm a technologist, and I assumed that at that point in time that if I had a great product, that people would be lining up to buy my stuff. But boy, was I wrong. So after knocking on every single door in Trinidad, we ran out of people to call, and I figured out like, well, maybe what we should do, like maybe everybody in Trinidad is crazy, right? So we decided to expand markets, and we started to go to Jamaica and then Barbados and Bahamas, and then Suriname eventually. And what I realized is I had to get the attention of people who didn't know me. They didn't know my product. They didn't even know my company. And to make matters worse, we had no budget, and nobody on the team was sales or marketing trained. So we had to figure out things the hard way. I couldn't fly in island to island. I couldn't do big sponsorships. I couldn't just go give away a whole bunch of stuff, because we just didn't have the budget for it. But that's basically what everyone else was doing. So I knew there must have been a better way. And wouldn't you agree, guys, that technology always gives us an edge? And if you look study after study, you'll see that you get faster results with a mentor. And that's what I did. I went out and I found the best of the best of the best in sales and marketing, and basically anything that I had a shortcoming in. And I spent hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars in training being mentored from these people. What I did is I took their winning strategies and I basically supercharged it with technology. Now today, our company has continued to grow, and we pivoted from just a small infrastructure firm in Trinidad and Tobago to regional leaders in the technology space. And we serve the biggest and the best enterprise organizations across the Caribbean with an exponentially larger addressable market. So recently I was out hanging out with a friend, and there was a next guy with him. And like kind of halfway through the conversation, he leaned over and he said, wait, you're Leslie? And he took my hand and he shook it vigorously. And before I got a chance to ask him who he was, he introduced himself. And he was the sales director at that firm that we begged to collaborate with a couple of years ago. And he said, man, I don't know what you did, but when we went out to market and we started to expand, we were knocking on doors, and everybody said, yeah, we already spoke to Leslie. It's okay. He's got it covered. We blanketed the entire market. And the thing is that we had the same product. We probably had the same scripts, and they had a head start. And I mention this not to brag, but to say that they were still doing things in a traditional way. And AI really, really gave us an edge. And if you want, this could be your story as well. So really, I had three big takeaways out of this. And the first one is your current circumstances, they do not define your future. And you guys can write that down, right? So if you guys are going through a tough point, like you never know where this thing could take you. Second thing is traditional way, it just doesn't work anymore, right? So, big events, all those things are great, but you need to have an edge with technology. Otherwise, what you'll realize is that everyone, your competitors, will be using AI, they will be using technology heavily, and someday everyone will be forced to use AI as well. So why not start today? Now, there are ultimately two paths to get to AI. There's a very small group of individuals that are right now, they're running towards AI. And they're looking to integrate AI to have an edge in and every edge you can look at, every opportunity, every chance to integrate AI into every single aspect of their operation. And these guys, they are the disruptors. And they will create such a massive divide between themselves and the entire market that when you look back, well, you guys know the story, right? Or you could be the disrupted. You could be the ones that continue to do things in the old way. And when you wake up in the morning, there's just no catching up. Your customers are gone, right? And you have to now figure out, how do I get that edge? How do I incorporate AI into my business? So ask yourself, guys, do you want to be the victor or do you want to be the victim? And I know we have a victor here with us. Do you want to be the victim of AI? Now, study after study again, guys, it shows that there's a massive first mover advantage. First movers will always take 90% of the market. Everyone else, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, everyone else shares just about 10% of the market. And right now, there's a massive gold rush that's being created by AI. You'll either be that first mover or you'll be a late adopter. So you'll see these brands on the left here. You'll see Coca-Cola, you'll see Kellogg's, you'll see Amazon. And then on the next slide, you'll see the local competitors. And these local competitors are brands that you probably never hear about, and they will only ever stay local. Yeah, absolutely. They will only ever stay local. And some of you guys are probably thinking like, Coke is a global, these are global brands, right? But did you guys know that Coke was created in a little pharmacy? Did you know Kellogg's was a breakfast accident at a sanitarium? Did you know, well, you probably know that Amazon was created in a guy's garage. So do you want to be the first mover or do you want to be the late adopter? Now, there are a couple of reasons why conventional telco sales and marketing strategies, they're just not working today. And if you look at the telco space, this is primarily the reasons. One, the markets are so mature that it's saturated. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're very saturated markets. So adding more subscribers every single month, like there's very little room for that. So even from an acquisition perspective, it's a little difficult, right? But I'll share some strategies with you guys of how we address these things. Next thing is fast technological changes. So you guys are always changing with technology. So every product, every service that you have, right, it has a very short shelf life. They become obsolete very quickly. But now, like external technology providers have been impacting you guys as well. So the WhatsApps of the world, the Facebooks of the world, the Netflix of the world, and all the OTT providers are also impacting the space. In the space as well, there's also very low loyalty. And this is being accelerated because of number portability. So people used to be loyal to their telephone number, but now that you could move provider to provider, then people are just moving about for lower prices. So retention becomes very difficult. And what that's creating ultimately is price wars and commoditization. So everybody's offering lower prices and lower and better benefits. And that's how they're able to truly try to differentiate themselves. But if you really look at what people want and the main differentiator and the main opportunity, it's around what, guys? It's not necessarily price, it boils down to service. So how could we use AI to superpower those things? Let's take a little step back. So what is AI? Yeah, but that's par for the course, guys, right? So absolutely. So the NPS scores are low, but it is par for the course. So what is AI? And I'll frame it, specifically for sales and marketing specialists, but it's applicable to every single space. If you are a knowledge worker, then take the descriptions I give you today and apply it to what you do. But it's basically a salesperson or a marketing person that is always available, that doesn't get sick, that doesn't take holidays, that doesn't have a bad day, that works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that your customers could always get help. They are detailed market researchers. They have their eye on market trends, customer behavior, and they're sifting through vast amounts of data and they're able to identify patterns and trends and insights in research that humans would probably miss. This allows them to predict the future. They're able to see what the market movements are like, and they're able to look at consumer behavior so that they could stay ahead of the market in real time. They're also very efficient campaign managers. They can automate and optimize marketing campaigns in real time. They're able to adjust their campaigns in real time dynamically based on customer response rates. They're able to run multiple campaigns at the same time, and they always know which ad to display to which customer at which time, so that every single dollar you put into marketing, you get 2 back. Or it's an astute sales strategist, right? So they're able to look at promising leads, predict customer churn. They can instantly process millions of records of customer data so that they can identify behavior patterns and come up with effective sales strategies so that you never miss a sale. Could you imagine, guys, what is the impact on ARPU if you never miss a sale? Or they could be the perfect communicator. They can respond like a human, and they can also learn from each interaction and then tailor every single interaction so they can communicate in a way that is best suited to that individual that they're speaking to. So every single customer feels listened to. I want to pause for a second, guys, and I want to hand you over to Melissa, who's going to ask a super quick question.
Okay, here we go. Question number 2. In terms of conventional sales and marketing strategies in the telecom industry, which challenges are you facing most frequently? Just pick one, please. A through E. We'll take about a minute to get your input. Oh, I think we've got another obvious winner like we did for the first poll question.
Yeah.
From what we see right now, difficulties in personalizing communication is falling behind. Those of you who are here from corporate communications, that might be your focus. Our second lowest, high levels of customer churn. Okay, good. And then we go to slow response time to market changes. Yeah. If we could pick several of these, I wouldn't be surprised if this one had a higher rating, higher percentage. But the grand prize winner, we only got 30 of 53 have participated. Are you sure a few others of you don't want to jump in and give us some data? Okay, I'll let it go then. Then the grand prize winner of what's the biggest challenge we on this call are facing? Inadequate real-time analytics and insights. Woo, 55%. Perfect.
And that's really consistent with the level of maturity across the market. Now, most providers, guys, most operators have already been through this process, and there are unique challenges when it comes to telco, and that is like the vast volumes of data that you guys have coming in. But from a maturity perspective, I've seen that most people have sort of licked this problem already. Super interesting. Okay. I think we share the results. All right, cool, beautiful. Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate it. So a lot of these challenges, guys, they're happening primarily because of these things here. So I wanted to give you guys an outlook of what the telecom sector looks like globally. So what we're looking at here is compound annual growth rates for particular services offered by telecoms. So internet is actually the most promising service. Up to 2030, there's year over year, or every year, we're expected to see compound annual growth rates of just about 20% for internet services. For cable TV, though, we're going to see 3% growth, landline 1.7% growth, and for mobile, it's going to actually decline by just about 3%. So, given these numbers, guys, how can we impact ARPU? to answer that question, I wanna ask everybody here a question. What would your organization be worth if you still worked with every single customer that you ever came across? Like how much would your organization be worth? Let me know in the chat. If every single customer you ever interacted with was still a customer today, all things being equal, what would your business be worth? Let me know. A lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. And that's why you need to understand customer journey. So when it comes to customer journey and telco life cycle, then most people
Oh, here we go. Looks like Leslie's connection is a little wonky here. So I think while his connection is strengthening, I will type in chat. That's why the customer journey is key, and measuring the net promoter scores for the customer experience is important. I don't know if Leslie can hear that you're cutting in and out on us here. Okay, I think he's now fully frozen. While his connection is strengthening, I think I'll just take the ball right here real quick and just talk about the customer life cycle. Oop, the slides are gone too, so I guess I won't talk about the customer life cycle that he had on the slide, but I will talk about net promoter scores and the customer journey. I'm sure most of you are already measuring the loyalty of your existing customers through some type of net promoter score measurement to assess the loyalty of your customers, because loyalty is certainly a predictor on how well we can handle new competitors, different changes going on in the marketplace, technological and regulatory changes. So the customer journey, mapping that out is really key to seeing where we are and where the hiccups are, and where AI can jump in and help us with that. And then, of course, measuring the loyalty through a net promoter score is key to measure our customers. Now, one of my favorite topics is also related to customer experience, CX, but you can't have happy external customers unless you have the happy internal customers, the employee experience. So both the employee experience and the customer experience need to be considered in the customer journey roadmap that Leslie's going to tell us more about. Looks like he's back now.
All right, I'm back, guys. I'm not going to tell you what company's internet I'm using.
Right, I was wondering, we need to get on them.
All right, cool. So ultimately, guys, Melissa, thanks so much for jumping in. I think you're doing a great job. I think I'll take the rest of the webinar off. All right. So ultimately, guys, these are the 5 pillars, but everybody's focused on the last one. But Melissa's right. If you're not working your customers through every single step of this journey, then you're not going to be able to upsell them or cross-sell them. So there are absolutely opportunities within each pillar to use AI. Now, if we look at acquisition, for example, you can do custom content creation, you can do personalized ads, you can do advisor chatbots, and this is how you grow your list. This is how you acquire more leads. At the lead generation stage, you want to. Any of you guys ever been on a date with somebody? You had a fantastic time, and then you go home, you say goodnight, and then the person never calls you back. That's what a lot of companies are doing with their customers. So they are having a great time with them, they meet them, they exchange contact information, but they don't continue to nurture that conversation until they take action. At the nurture level is really where that's what we do. We would WhatsApp them, we text them and say, hey, that was a really funny joke you told last night. But we now be able to have a personalized conversation rather than just copy paste, and blast out our entire list. You can now use AI to personalize that conversation to a person. That improves how many people actually become customers. How many guys get in this? You acquire. So do you guys see how you could double acquisition by having more personalized conversations with folks? Do you see how you could double your nurturing by just continuing to have consistent personalized communication with them? You can retarget them at the right time and the right place based on the data that you have. From a conversion perspective, you can now have sales chatbots. You can have propensity to buy, the different AI that you could use here so that you now turn that lead into a customer. You see how you could use AI to double that? From a retention perspective, you could now predict churn. So when you see early warning signs, you can capture that customer's attention before they even leave you. You can create personalized offers. You can do support chatbots, right? And you can be proactive. You can see the future. And you can now reach out to them even before they know they have a problem. And it's at that point in time where you can do upsell, cross-sell with recommendations, etc. Guys, if you double acquisition, or do you think you could double acquisition? Let me know in chat. Give me a one if you think you could use AI to double acquisition. Give me a one. Absolutely. Give me a one if you could double nurture. Cool. And if you could double conversions, give me a one. Retention, same if you could double that. Octavia could quadruple it, looks like. And then upsell, absolutely. So if you double every single one of these, you 16x your business. Guys, you see how powerful that is when you focus on the entire life cycle as opposed to just the upsell component. So how ultimately, guys, I had a quick question for you guys. Imagine you had a magic wand and AI could take over the most disliked part of your job. What would that component be? I'd love to hear from you guys. Like, where would you, based on what you know about AI, where would you apply AI in your own circumstances? Love to hear. And this is everybody, not just CCOs and marketers. Life cycle, absolutely. Upselling, saving customers, fantastic. What are some of the tasks that you'd love to get rid of? Upselling, absolutely. Anything else? Collections, oh, that's an easy use case. Tailored offers, absolutely. And now offers move from what is the quad play, what is the tripod play, what is like, forget the packages. There's now a Disha package, there's now a Flory package, there's a Lee package, cold calling, beautiful. I love it, guys. So let's show you how we could apply some of those things to AI, right? So there's a couple of immediate opportunities. I'm just going to focus on 3 for today's conversation, but from a marketing perspective, a sales perspective, and a customer service perspective. Now, so I want to first kick off by saying thanks to the guys who participated in that QR code snap earlier. I want to ask you guys, because we had some volunteers. Kimberly, are you with, or Kimberly still in progress? Let's see. Amelia, are you there with us, Amelia? Go ahead and unmute. Oh, are you able to unmute, Amelia? Let's see. Or Flory, are you able to unmute? I'm seeing some stuff coming from you guys. All right, so we'll use the chat for it, guys. So Flory, Amelia, you guys look like, or Nicole, you guys have some marketing background. That's what we kind of looked at. So what they did at the start of the presentation, when they snapped that QR code, is they gave us 4 questions pretty much. So we asked them their name, their email address, and asked them to give us a crazy idea for a product, right? Because what we did is we looked at how do we go to market, right? Telcos are always taking new products to market and services, right? So let's say you had a new product, and Amelia's idea was Dreamscape Creator. It's a device that allows users to record and play their dreams in vivid detail. I love it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, about 15 words that she gave us, right? So what we did is the first thing you do is, oh, Amelia, you can unmute now. Amelia, there with us?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Okay, Amelia, do you have a marketing background? I want to ask you some questions.
No,
okay,
sorry.
No? All right, so any marketers can help me with some questions, and an easy question, trust me. Let's see who else responded.
How about to Kimberly again? She's on our Canto marketing committee as the marketing leader in Setar and Aruba.
Okay, hey Kimberly, could you give me a hand with something?
Everyone can unmute now, by the way.
Flory, can you give me a hand with something?
Hi, you can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you have a new product. By the way, did you complete the chatbot?
I did.
Okay, cool. Oh, okay, I got your stuff in front of me. So what you put in was a car seat with auto strapping. That was your product idea, correct?
Yes.
So usually when you go to market, you have a product. It could be a telco product, it could be any product on the planet. But the first thing you do is once you have a product, what is the first thing you do? Probably come up with some brand ideas, right?
Yes.
What's your brand name, right? And you spitball a couple ideas. How long do you take to do that? What's your process?
You brainstorm about the brand name, the look and feel of the branding.
How long do you spend on it?
Probably couple, maybe 2 weeks or so.
Okay, 2
depending
weeks to
on
come up
the-
with a couple of brand names, spitball some ideas.
Yeah.
After you come up with a brand name, what's the next thing you do?
You get the looks, try to go to graphics to get some visuals.
So do you do customer personas and all of those things?
Depends on the product.
So your car
So
seat with
you-
auto shop, you want to identify who your customers are, right?
Yes.
How long to do that? Ideal customer persona.
A couple of days.
A couple of days. So we have, let's say 3 weeks on average. Now, how much money you spent so far?
Nothing as yet.
Nothing as yet. Okay, so you're doing it in-house.
Yes.
After you do your ideal customer persona, you do your problem definitions. So what are the problems that this persona faces, right?
Right.
Couple more days?
Meeting or two, yeah.
Okay, cool, meeting or two. And then you do your solution definitions. What are the solutions for this product, for this particular customer? Yeah?
Yeah.
Then you do a marketing plan.
Yes.
How long your market plan take you?
From composition to approval, probably a week.
A week, so we're about 5 weeks so far. After your marketing plan, you might do a customer journey map. How long will that take you?
Another day.
A day again. Okay, cool. And then you send it off to the creative team. The creatives go do the ads, the graphic works. How long for them to do that?
Back and forth for approval, probably another couple of days or a week, depending on the.
Okay, cool. So we are about 6-7 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
Before you could even launch a campaign. Let's say the campaign was rubbish and you did start over. You spend the next couple of weeks doing that as well, right?
Yeah.
You guys are probably thinking, what does this have to do with you? So Flory gave us an idea, which was a car seat auto strap. She submitted it using a chatbot. So we had the car seat with the auto strap. We came up with a couple of brand names. For this particular campaign, we came up with auto strap safe. We built out a marketing plan for her, overview, situation analysis. We did a SWOT analysis. We did a 4 Ps analysis. We did an STP marketing model. We did an ideal customer persona. So female, 25 to 45, working professional, salary, personality traits, education level, frustrated with having manual adjusted car seats, time pressing, what social media channels, what communication channels, their personal goals to ensure the safety of their children, any objections they might have, experience in technology, their dreams and aspirations to have a safe and comfortable ride for the kids. We did the problem definition, the solution definition. We built out a customer journey, the awareness stage. We built all the touch points, all the channels. We built KPIs for each of the steps of the customer journey. We did an ad example introducing AutoSafe, the perfect car seat for busy parents, right? We did a concept for creatives that you could give to the creative teams. We did an email example. So they're busy executive. Do you have a little one in a car seat? Blah, 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 blah. And then we actually even did creatives for you guys, right? We did that while we were learning about AI. We took 6 weeks of work, 7 weeks of work, and we crunched it into 7 minutes, right? And if that was a rubbish idea, I actually did it. 3 separate campaigns for every single person that submitted their ideas. So this is Flory again. This is her idea. Complete a different campaign, complete a different persona, complete a different plan, complete a different creatives. Guys, are you getting like the power of AI? Give me a 1 if you guys are getting it. Cool. Lovely. And that's just marketing, right? So what if we applied AI to some other areas of the business? So how about sales? How many of you guys love emails and wish you got more emails every single day? All right, not me. So I'll quickly show you guys how we could use AI for emails, or how I use AI for emails pretty much every single day. So on average, we're receiving 120 emails. Most of you guys here, you get way more than 120 emails. But we respond to 40% of the emails, and on average, we're spending 2.6 hours every single day in emails. It's crazy. What if we could cut that in half? So I'm just looking for a random email I could pull out. And okay, cool. Yeah, absolutely no. Yeah. So here's, for example, let me see a random email here. Let's say I got this email. Let's say this was a legit email that I got from somebody. Like if somebody sent you an email with like 5 bullet points or 6 bullet points from the last meeting and they ask you to respond to it. So let's take a look at the context. So still keeping track of user access permissions in spreadsheets, easily create user accounts, demonstrate compliance. Okay, cool. And let's say you had to spend time to respond to this email, point to point, like how long would it take you guys? Give me an idea in the chat. How long would it take you to reply to this email? Point by point. A minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Right? Across 107 minutes. Teresa's a machine. 5 minutes. 13 minutes, absolutely. Sergio, 10 minutes. But I just did that, right? While we were talking about it. I insert my response. Cool. Item by item, I responded to pretty much everything that they raised in the meeting. I will now go back in and just check it to make sure. But the AI, my AI has been trained to be better than I am. I have very low emotional intelligence. My AI is trained to be emotionally intelligent, to be helpful, to be nurturing. It's a way better version of myself. So, like, what is it worth to you guys if you could buy back 1 hour of your life every single day? Because we all have this email problem every single day. I don't know what your answer is, but I skipped it out. But there's a study that shows that there is a direct relationship. Oh, absolutely. There's a direct relationship between teenage alcohol abuse, teenage drug abuse, depression, anxiety in teens, and having dinner with your family. What is it worth to me? I have 3 boys. I would have dinner every single day with my family. Like if all AI did for me was give me that ability, like it would be absolutely worth it. So let's look at sales here for a second. So I'll give an example of what I did at an event. How many guys, well, I know a lot of you guys do sales. How many guys love to do conferences because you get to meet all your customers plus new ones in one single place? So you want to maximize what you do at a conference. Canto has phenomenal conference. If you haven't been, I want to see you guys in person next year, not your AI, by the way. But when I go to the conferences, I want to meet as many people as possible. AI is absolutely personalized. So when I go to these conferences, like this is an event I did in Montego Bay. I sent an email out, a personalized email to the leadership there were about 156 companies, to the leaders of every single company. So this is kind of what it looked like. So I did a personalized email plus a personalized image. If you had to do one personalized email with a personalized image, how long would it take you? I did 156. Like you just wouldn't do it, right? And that's why nobody does it in sales today. So I did 152 personalized, and this is what it did, right? So it's perfect. Every single email was unique. Hi, Tim, it's Leslie. I'm excited to speak to the ISC conference in Montego Bay. I'm really looking forward to meeting you and Summit Insurance team, blah, blah, blah. As a fellow Caribbean-based professional, so I give it a framework, find something in common with the person, compliment them, blah, 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 right? So I took the best strategies out there and I supercharged those things with AI, right? How many guys would love to do this? Good. And last but not least, guys, is chatbots. So I saw in the chat very absolutely. I saw in the chat earlier that a lot of people in sales marketing, but also support are really good opportunities. You get people kicking and screaming at you. They have long queues. They get aggravated by the time they get to a support agent. The support agent is based somewhere in India. It is very aggravating. They don't understand them. What if we could use a chatbot to ultimately augment that experience? So I'll share quickly, and I know I'm looking at the clock, guys, and I know we're running tight. So this, for example, is a chatbot, right? So we created a telco called Carib Telco, fully online AI telco company. So hey, Carib Telco, respect your privacy. Let's see how we could go here. Anybody? Well, guys, I'm gonna ask some questions. Pop in the chat, and I'll give it to the chat bot. Are you guys ready? Give me a yes if you're ready. Cool. So first, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Who wants to volunteer? Let me know in the chat. What's your first name? Give me a 1 if you want to volunteer. And you could probably come off mute too if you wanted. Might be faster.
Hi. We need a quick volunteer.
Okay, I'm gonna volunteer somebody. I saw Whitney. Hey, oh, Lee is going. All right, Lee, you just saved Whitney. All right, Lee, go ahead. So, Lee saying, all right, cool. Cool, there you go, Lee. Whitney, I'll get you next time, don't worry. So, hi, Lee. So, it's already personalizing the interaction with the person, right? AI is already at work here for us. So, what we can do is we could validate your account. So, Lee, is your account number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Okay, so I only give it 2 account numbers. I think that account number is for a different provider, Lee, sorry. Anyway, so I'll just use, because I only have a couple pre-programmed account numbers, but we could do an account balance, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, it's going to check now. It's going to validate your name against the account number. It's going to ask you for a PIN. I just give it 4 once. Lee, you want to put your PIN, your bank card PIN in the chat first, please? I'm just kidding. Cool. So, all right, cool. So we're checking now. So we're going to validate. Beautiful. Super. So we're all set. How can we help? So Lee, what we'll do is account balance first. So we click in here. It actually does a lookup. Great. So we're going to do a bill inquiry. All right. Cool. So now we can do a payment. We can do whatever. But this is like all real-time information once you validate. Human doesn't actually have to get involved in this stuff. What if, let's go deep, guys. So that's basic chatbot stuff. What if you had customer service? So guys, I want you to give me, or Lee, give me any problem related to telcos that we want an AI agent to help us with. Right? So hi Lee, I'm Kari, you're a Carib Telco expert. Thank you for choosing Carib Telco, the leading telecommunications provider in the Caribbean. To assist you better, could you please provide some more details? Are you currently facing any technical issues or looking for some more specific information related to our services? Your prompt response will help us offer more concise and personalized solutions. All right, cool. So I'm just going to copy straight out what you give me into the chat. Cool. So bad and slow service, long response time. Let's see what it says. Just thinking a little bit. Okay, cool. Okay, so highly, so it's emotionally intelligent. I apologize for any inconvenience you've been experiencing with our service. Slow response time can certainly be frustrating. Here at Carib Telco, we strive to provide reliable and fast telecommunication services. Your feedback is critical for us and it can identify and solve problems. We need to do some troubleshooting to understand the cause of the issue better. Right? Is it TV? Is it internet? Is it voice? Is it like, guys, isn't that bang on? Isn't that exactly the response that a human public, they're like, what are you talking about? Right? Lee, you can't just tell me it's bad and slow service. Like, which service? Right? And we could go deeper on this, guys. Crazy, right? So I know we're a little short on time today. So I'll give you guys, if you want to play with it, go ahead, give it a scan. Yeah, it's crazy. Give it a scan and you guys could play along with it a little bit. Cool. Just don't use Lee's account, please. Thank you very much, guys. All right, so beautiful. So in terms of a recap today, guys, what did we cover? Like, what is AI? We looked at the opportunities in telco services, specifically for marketing, sales, customer service. We looked at the telco customer service life cycle, and we looked at actual examples of AI in action. How many of you guys learned something today? How many of you guys happy you came? All right, cool. So, if you'd love to be able to implement this stuff, we want to reward the people that showed up today, right? Because I know you take time with your busy schedules to be here. So in partnership with Canto, we'll be offering a very special discount to our upcoming workshop, and it's only for the folks that came here today. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to comp Lee a seat for Lee volunteering here as well. I'm going to do a very special discount for you guys. So go ahead if you guys are interested in applying what you learned today, if you want to be able to get immediate results with AI, Go ahead, scan the code, click on it, and we leave it open up till the end of the webinar. We're going to move to a Q&A now, but I want to say I appreciate you guys. And then we're going to move now to the Q&A. Keep all the tough questions for Whitney. Whitney will come off mute and she'll answer all the hard questions about AI. Thank you, guys.
Wow, let's give him a big round of applause. That was fabulous, wasn't it? And there's Disha's clapping. Wonderful. Thank you all for being here. We have a few minutes for Q&A. I don't know how Canto would feel about this or how Leslie's time is, but he had such great content. I did not want to hurry him through it because I thought you'd really want to see that. So I think if there's any other questions you have, maybe we could stay on a few extra minutes. Canto, tell me if I'm wrong. Otherwise, who has the first question here? Oh, you're getting all kinds of applause and everything. Leslie, great job. Who's got the first question? You want to, Teresa says we can stay on a little longer. So I think we can unmute. So I guess you should raise your hand and I call on you to, with your question. Benita, will we be able to get the recording to the webinar? Yes, we can do that. Leona, great session. Wonderful. How about any questions?
So I see one sort of PM to me, private message to me, and the question is, will AI take my job? And I'm sure it's a real concern for a lot of folks out here. And the answer is, how many guys are a little concerned about that? Give me a 1 or 2, you're like, AI will never take my job. Absolutely. Yeah, most people, it's and I think about it, like the more I see, the more I know, the more worried I am. Will AI take your job, Sergio? Sergio, I would love to know what you do. I wanna get that job as well. But the answer is it depends. So 48%. Yeah, absolutely. How you used to make your job more relevant. So thanks, Chris, for answering the question. Right. So that's the first thing, is that 48% of jobs, aka 50% of you guys here, your core skills will need to change over the next 5 years because of AI. What we did earlier is, in terms of the marketing stuff, is the job of an entire marketing team plus a marketing agency, and we did it in 7 minutes. If all that did was do it in 6 months at half the price, people would still do it. But we're doing it at a speed and rate that not even humans can actually achieve. Right? So even if we spend the same amount of money, we would still save ourselves 4, 5, 6 months of work. Right? So will it happen? It's going to happen, guys. So half of you guys here, your core skills will have to change over the next couple of years. The good news is that, or the bad news is, AI will replace a lot of jobs, but it'll also create 69 million new jobs. And we are, because you guys are here, you guys already know this stuff, you're leaders in your space. You have the opportunity to be first movers. You can now reskill, retrain, and do it. Now, AI will ultimately, if you're a knowledge worker, it'll replace 80% of what you do if you're a knowledge worker. But it's that 20% that if you are exceptional in your space, it will never replace you. I don't see it happening in the near future at least. So, but you have to be exceptional in what you do and tie it in with the ability to use AI. That answers the question. Cool.
Benito asks, what core skills can we update to? Can you give us an idea?
On my organization, we actually, for every 1 person in my organization, we have 10 AI. Right? It's phenomenal. I have more AI than people in my organization, like by 10 times. So everybody on my organization, what they need to do is they need to be able to delegate tasks to AI effectively. And that is the core skill that everybody needs to learn. You need to learn AI delegation, how to instruct the AI to get better results. Because small tweaks in that process lead to big peaks in terms of outputs. Yeah, absolutely. Great, terrific question, guys. Yep, the more you give AI, the better responses. So prompt engineering is one of the core things that we'll cover in the workshop, guys. Beautiful.
Okay, Samantha's putting more into the 50% discount here, and we're right at time to adjourn. Is there a burning question before we do that?
Where's the best place to start with AI in your organization? At the top. But it's not actually happening there. So the way I see AI is, how many guys have flown somewhere? How many guys been on a plane and been to the next country or been to the next place? Everybody. Do you understand anything about aviation? Do you understand anything about lift, about drag, about how planes work? You don't need to. You just to know, you need to understand what the vehicle will do for you. And that's what leaders need to understand. They need to understand the vehicle and what the results that AI will give them. Once you get that, then you can think about, how do I integrate AI into every aspect of our business? But the reverse is happening today. So most people are using AI typically like a ChatGPT. At least 6% of your organization right now is using ChatGPT. And typically it's without the knowledge of leadership. The risk is data privacy breaches. The risk is data protection fines. The risk is massive. So you guys know who you are in the Dutch territories. If you have any EU customers, right? It's not based on where your company is, and Disha could probably chime in on this. It's not based on where your company is based. It's based on where your customer is. So if you have any EU customers, you have to comply with GDPR, and so on and so forth across the territories. So massive risk it brings to the organization.
So it reminds me of going to a fabulous restaurant and having a fantastic appetizer. And I don't know about you all, but I'm ready for more. And I think with Leslie's great offer and working with Canto on this upcoming event, we'll all need to go and get a little more bite-sized chunk. There's more to learn, more to grow, as there always is in our industry. And let's see, I think, Canto, we want to show you some upcoming events of the Canto team. We'll throw up a slide. I think we have a couple flyers. Of course, one, you've already seen Leslie's upcoming event. And then we've already mentioned the annual general meeting. Now here's another virtual Canto conversation coming up. If we can make that a full screen Canto team so that we can see the whole thing. Excellent. A low code platform, customer communications. Good grief, we're having another one this month, October 19th. So you can register there. You can always go on to Canto's social media or website to get the information, but we have that. Let's see, Disha, Dutch and French, or even non-UI. Once you have customers who are from the EU, you must comply with GDPR. Great. It is wonderful to have our legal team weigh in. And by the way, I just want to thank Disha. When all this ChatGPT started coming out earlier this year, the big buzz, the first person who mentioned it to me was Disha. She said, hey, what about legal, the legal realm, the regulatory realm? What impact is that going to have? Are we going to need lawyers anymore? Well, I think all of us have been wondering, are we going to need any of us? So I think Leslie's assured us that with AI, we can have all kinds of enhance our careers. And by you all being here, that shows you're committed to looking at and moving forward, as we always have to do as we grow in our career development. Good grief, 40 years at Canto. I don't think I've been there the whole 40, but maybe 20 of the 40, but we've got the 40th AGM towards a sustainable digital economy. What a great flyer, January 28th through 30th in Trinidad. Wonderful. And then we'll have our annual conference and trade exhibition in July, back in Miami again. So we've got lots of cool things. Is there anybody else, like Teresa with a lovely heart showing, or Disha, anyone else who wants to say anything before we say goodbye? Here comes Disha.
Just thank you for everyone for your time. Thank you, Leslie, for a wonderful interactive session. Thank you, Melissa, for leading us through it. Really a fantastic session.
Teresa, anything?
And thank you to the wonderful audience. Keep in tune to Canto and check us out on our social media channels for more interesting conversations like this. Thank you for all the participants.
I'm going to quit my day job and start the business that your platform generated all the concepts for me, Leslie. So, your copy. See what I'm up to. Okay, so thanks a million for that.
Most
I'd
welcome.
love to join you. Working with you would be such an honor. Again, thank you, Cantor team. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next event. Take care. Have a great day.
Guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.